Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR. 107.7 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know how we made it back this morning.
Unbelievable. I've never seen Rancid, Smashing Pumpkins, or Green Day live.
Yeah.
And that show was unreal.
So for those that didn't catch it at the end of the show yesterday, Mark and I went to Detroit last night to go see Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the opening band was the Linda Lindas.
Yes.
At Comerica Park. We're dragging a little this morning. I think fumes and coffee and leftover energy drink from my system from last night is what's keeping me up right now. But, oh, my God, it was so worth it.
And because I told Meatball this before, too, is that the first CD my mom ever bought me as a kid was Dookie. And I was upset. Like, it was between Nickelodeon and MTV. That's all I watched when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So seeing Green Day at Woodstock on MTV, I was like, who is this band? And I was obsessed. And I remember my mom got me that CD, and it was like that for like 2 years.
Yep.
Just
so Green Day is celebrating 20 years of American Idiot, 30 years of Dookie, right? I got that in right order. They played both albums back, like, front to back.
Pretty much, with like new stuff mixed in and
some of the other hits.
Stuff from like Kerplunk.
They played 2.5 hours, man.
It was unreal.
It was great. And like, you know, Green Day's average song length is like 2.5 minutes. So something like 27 songs or something last night. It was awesome.
This is only my second show at a ballpark, like rock show at a ballpark. Because
you last year, saw Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, GNR, Wrigley. And then this is up there, though. This was a phenomenal show. Just being in Detroit and seeing this band that I've been connected to for the last 30 years was just super special.
Now I got a little bit of a different experience than you did. I have some friends that still work in the record industry, and they hook me up every once in a while. I got to see the show from the suite level at Comerica Park, and let me tell you, I kind of wish it was great. It was fun being there and talking with them and being a part of the show from there. I am still that kid though who wants to be right up on the rail for these shows, you know. So, like, it was cool being back there, and the show was awesome, not going to lie. But those of you that were down on the field and got to see the show, like, I'm super jealous of that because that was pretty awesome.
I don't have Meatball's friends. I don't have big time record exec. He's up there with the caviar and the fine champagnes, and I'm down there with the $52 Molson Canadians.
No, I was still paying $9 a beer. That's what I was doing. But no, like I did try to get you a ticket up there. They only had the one ticket left, so I apologize. But I'm glad you got to go because it was a ton of fun. I was honestly blown away, and it's funny I'm saying this because my friend they were there representing Green Day. I was actually there to see Smashing Pumpkins because I did not know what to expect. Smashing Pumpkins has always been one of those songs or one of those bands that like I didn't ever get. I just didn't fully understand the thing. Like, they had some songs I liked, and that was about it. They just released a new album that's phenomenal. But I think now that I've seen it live, I get it. All those people that have been, like, fanboy and fangirling over the Smashing Pumpkins for the past 30-plus years, like, I get it now. I totally understand what they were getting after. They blew me away. Yeah. Absolutely blew me away.
Excellent show. Excellent time. Now we just got to recover and hydrate and get back into the normal life of not being at a Green Day show at Comerica.
Yeah, I know. So, all right. We're going to take a break, a quick nap under the counter. We'll be back in a bit on the Rock. 107.7 RKR is the Rock Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Have you seen Dan Campbell's latest commercial that he's in? The Applebee's commercial? If you haven't seen it, he's working as a server at an Applebee's, and he comes up to this couple. Hold on, I got the commercial right here.
Welcome to Applebee's. Can I interest you in America's favorite boneless wings for just 50 cents each?
I have the 50-cent bone.
Cover your mouth. They can steal your order.
He's got the little ticket thing over his mouth, like he's giving out plays.
I'll have the 50-cent boneless wings.
I'll have the same.
Perfect. They'll never see it coming.
That's awesome.
It's just so dry and perfect. Like, give that man the damn Oscar or whatever the commercial equivalent of an Oscar is.
Right.
Oh my God. When he first walks up there, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be some kind of funny exchange or something. And then he puts the ticket thing in front of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I lost it. Oh my God. It was so funny.
They've been busy, man.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a really good year for them. A lot of people, like I said, starting to recognize the hard work and the grit that the Lions have been showing, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're getting national exposure now with that kind of stuff. And it's a good sign that not only Dan Campbell is having fun, but it seems like the whole team is having some fun too. They're in a good mood heading into the season. And I, honestly, I mean, I'm not even joking. Dan Campbell's a great actor. Mm-hmm. I would love to see him in more commercials, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like some kind of like medical commercial about replacing kneecaps. I think that would be perfect for him.
That would be really smart.
Yeah. Actually, he has been in a commercial before. Did you know this?
No.
It was when he was still a player, actually. And you're going to love what this commercial was. In 2004, Dan Campbell appeared in a commercial for season tickets for the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. How times have changed.
How about them?
It's time to turn up your dials and tune out the traffic because we're playing the Daily 5 on the Rocker Morning Show. Testing the mental magnitude of your favorite morning monkeys on the radio. And now, your hosts for the Daily 5, Meatball and Mark Frank House.
It is the Daily 5 where Mark and I ask each other questions. The other one answers. Today, I'm asking the questions. Mark is answering. And Mark, you have a special guest with some help today.
Yes, Nick from Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness. Welcome to the Rocker Morning Show again, bro.
Hello.
Awesome. Well, Nick is joining us later on to talk about our big picks of the week. It's a new segment we got here on the Rocker Morning Show. Mm-hmm. That's coming up at around 8:45. But right now, since Nick's coming in, he's going to help me out with the Daily 5 trivia game. But don't worry, one of you listening is going to win tickets to the NSRA Street Rod Nationals North Show, regardless.
Yeah, right.
But we're going to see every point counts this week because we're on an even day. So we'll see how many points we can get here to combat the points that Meatball got yesterday.
All right. Are you guys ready to go?
Yes.
All right. Let's do this. Question number 1. General knowledge. What is the highest number on a roulette wheel? Is it 32, 36, or 40?
This doesn't help. I don't gamble.
32, 36, or 40. 30. I think it's 30. 32, 36, or 40.
32, 36, or 40. Correct.
I don't really play roulette. I don't really play roulette anyways.
It's like trying to picture the wheel in your head and you're just like,
Yeah.
You just throw it to chance.
38, right?
32, 36, 40. So the one you chose is literally not one of the suggestions.
36. What's half of 36? That would be 18. Mm-hmm. I think it's 32.
You think it's 32?
I think it's 32. I'm trying to even it up because it's a circle, so it's got to be even number, which it is. But I
can see the smoke coming out of his ears.
Man, I know.
Coming out the gate with a tough one today.
I like 32 if you're cool with it.
I'll go with it. Sure, why not?
32, final answer.
32, final answer. 36.
I knew it was in the 30s. I knew it wasn't
36.
40 even.
I almost said, let's just go in the middle.
Please do, because my partners are always normally right.
All right, question number 2. This is plants. What plants are believed to absorb radiation? Is it evergreen trees, seaweed, or cactus?
Absorb radiation.
Evergreen, seaweed, or cactus?
Correct.
You know, I could go in the direction of either seaweed or cactus. I could see cactus just because they see so much sunlight.
Yeah.
But I could also see
sunlight's a form of
seaweed
radiation.
because they tend to be filters of the ocean.
I like that. I like that answer. I was thinking seaweed too. Plus, he was in the middle of the first question. I think he's going to stay in the middle of the second question.
Consistency, huh?
Yes. If you're cool with seaweed, I like that answer.
Let's go for it.
Seaweed, final answer, Meatball.
Seaweed, final answer. No, it was cactus.
Okay. So far,
Instincts.
we suck.
I'm not being consistent at all, it seems, either.
All right.
Question number 3. This is Broadway. Which of these 3 early presidents do not appear on stage in the hit show Hamilton? Is it George Washington, John Adams, or Thomas Jefferson? Which one does not appear on stage?
It's Washington.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's Washington.
Sure about that?
Go after yourself, Meatball. It's Washington. Isn't it?
No.
I didn't say final answer. What are you doing?
Okay, wait, okay.
What are you
Sorry,
doing?
I'll take it back. I take it back.
What is this guy doing? He's just jumping to the.
All right.
He just.
Okay, well, okay. So you know it's not Washington now. You got a 50-50 shot now. That's my
Okay,
fault.
Who is it? John Adams.
I'm not going to give
Is
the
John
numbers.
Adams or Jefferson?
Yeah.
Adams or Jefferson?
Adams or Jefferson?
Adams or Jefferson?
I'm
Which
gonna
one
go
did-
with Adams because everybody forgets about him. So I bet when they were writing it, they just like, wait, who was Adams?
Thomas Jefferson.
And Nick said John Adams.
You said John Adams. Man,
I've never seen it, so I'm just yeah.
I think it's Jefferson. I'm pretty sure it's Jefferson.
But
I'm
you
not
always go with your
mistaken.
partner.
I know I do. So we'll go Adams' final answer.
Adam's final answer. That is correct.
Yes.
Thomas Jefferson actually plays a pretty big role in the whole
I know.
show.
I watched it once and I was half drunk. So, wow.
Question number 4. This is sports. What sport has 13 players in league play, but 15 players in union play? Is it lacrosse, water polo, or rugby? Now, would you like me to describe the difference between league and union play?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
So basically, league play in this game is a stoppage after a certain occurrence happens. In union play, there is no stoppage. So league plays like football. After the play, it stops. They reset and go again. Union play, they just keep going like soccer.
Interesting.
Lacrosse, water polo, rugby.
I know. I've never even heard of that rule. That's kind of interesting.
I wish I knew more about those sports.
I know, right?
Might be why I picked them.
Yeah, the super vague ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of lacrosse.
I was kind of thinking that too. I was thinking that or rugby.
Yeah.
Just because it seems to me like I could see where they would possibly stop play in rugby, kind of like football. If there
With the
after
tackles.
there's
Yeah.
and what have you.
So maybe rugby is the right way to go then. I don't know.
Let's trust your initial instinct.
Lacrosse?
Lacrosse, yeah.
Let's do it. Lacrosse, final answer.
Lacrosse, final answer. Should have trusted your second instinct. It is rugby.
All right. We are in the struggle bus right now. We've only got 4 correct answers so far for the week, and we have lost the point for the day, so we're in trouble.
You only got one wedge.
Question number 5. This is general knowledge. In 1985, the Ringling Brothers Circus claimed to have found and tamed what mythical creature?
Ha!
Was it a unicorn, Bigfoot, or a mermaid?
It's got to be a unicorn, right? It's just too easy to put a horn on a horse and display it.
Or a mermaid
That's true. You could just have a
in
woman
like a tank.
in a tank. Yeah.
Having a woman
Somebody
with
can
the
hold their breath
scales.
for a really long time.
I don't know.
Free diver.
Bigfoot suits were pretty realistic in
Yes.
the 80s.
I don't know.
Just naturally blurry.
I'm torn between unicorn and mermaid, but I feel like mermaid is. I don't know. It's 50-50.
I'm going to go with what my daughter would choose, which would be unicorn.
You know what? I'm on team you and team your daughter. I'm teaming up, and I think we're going to get our second question correct with unicorn. Final answer.
The Scottish national animal, the unicorn.
Yes.
That is
Hey.
correct.
All right. Well, we didn't get the point for the day, so congrats, Meatball. You got the point for the day, but I did get 2 points for today regardless. So We're going to add them up with Meatball scores from yesterday, and we're going to see who takes the victory tomorrow. Nick, thanks for teaming up with me today. Thanks for believing in the power of the unicorn and John Adams. Hello. Somebody is going to win a pair of Street Rod Nationals North pair of tickets right now for that show in a couple of weekends. 978-1077. Caller number 7. You're going to win a pair of tickets to the Street Rod Nationals North. And thanks, Nick from Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness. We'll talk to you here in a bit.
Sounds good.
1077 RKR. It's the Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
I was doing some investigating the other day because we did an article on the 1077 RKR app about the kind of hole in the walls with the best food.
Oh, yeah.
And I started going through, and we did one also on the best grilled cheese as well. So
that was my favorite.
Going through and finding these was interesting because I ran into a place in Lawton, which is possibly the quirkiest business strip I've ever seen in the way that it's designed.
Okay.
On the outside, right?
What constitutes it being quirky?
Well, the fact that it's like it looks like an old Western / Victorian shape to it. Like all the buildings are like very Victorian looking.
All right.
And they're all these like super bright eccentric colors, like ridiculous, like bright greens and golds and pinks.
Wow.
And blue. And it's like those 90s cups, you know? That's the best way I could put it.
The fact that I immediately understood what you were talking about.
Right. It just, the paint job on these buildings is insane. It's just so cool. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So you can check these out on the 1077 RKR app. If you know what I'm talking about, you know I'm talking about the Big T family. And we're talking about Big T restaurant, the tavern over there, the Big T Tavern. That whole strip is one building. It's one business.
Oh, but it's got all those different colors. It looks so cool.
Yeah. Big T. Yeah. This place in Lawton, which is right next to the former Decoy Ducks down there. I got to hit this place up now because I didn't know that this place actually, a few of the buildings date back to the late 1800s.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's pretty historic. And the paint job, like I need someone to hit me up right now, 978-1077. If you know why the Big T Tavern is painted the way it is, I need to know because I love it. It's amazing.
Can you imagine those buildings built in the late 1800s? I'm sure it was just like wood paneling and it was like brown and gray and white and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now seeing, like if they could somehow travel into the future and see how they're painted now.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that would like break their brain? They're like, what is this? What is this? And then you described it to them like, oh, it's like those 1990s cups.
Right. What? Shut up. Have a burger. It's
1077 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
One of your last chances to qualify for the Rocker Rides is happening in a few moments, Mark.
Yes. We have only got a few more chances for you to get in on this amazing thing that we're doing with Tapper Ford and Tapper Chevy in Paw Paw. A brand new Ford F-150 or a brand new Chevy Silverado, we could be putting you behind the wheel of one of those bad boys for 2 years because they are hooking it up with a 2-year lease on a brand new vehicle. Having some car problems? Don't worry about it because with the 2-year lease, you're not going to have to worry if your truck breaks down or you get hit. They're going to take care of you. They're financing this whole thing themselves. Nobody in the state is doing anything near like this. So again, show some love to Tapper Ford and Tapper Chevy. If you're looking for a new car, they got your back, but we want to hook you up with the chance to win a 2-year lease on one of these brand new vehicles right now. 978-1077. Caller number 7. You are going to be the third to last person to get registered for the Rocker Rides. And again, a reminder, another chance tomorrow at 8:10, and Meatball will be out at Warner Vineyards in Paw Paw 5 to 7 tomorrow. So make sure you head out there. That will be your final chance to guarantee your chance at winning the Rocker Rides. So once again, thank you to Warner Vineyards and Tapper Automotive in Paw Paw. 978-1077. Call number 7. You're getting registered for the Rocker Ride.
1077 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
Mark Frankhouse.
And welcome in a special guest this morning, Nick.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I've got my Americano here, which is hotter than it should be, but we're sipping on it.
Coffee going down the gullet. We got sports to talk about here. Nick from Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness, welcome back to hanging out with us here on the Rocker Morning Show. We want to do, we talk a lot about sports, and you're a big sports guy.
Yep.
Clearly wearing your North Division champion shirt there.
Let's go, baby.
Been the NC championship or whatever.
But we wanted to do something with you, and I know you're a big sports guy, so we wanted to do some pick'ems, and everyone loves doing pick'ems. When it comes to like picking games and stuff. So I thought, and Mark and I and you got together and we're like, let's just do this on air every week.
Let's do it.
All right. So every Thursday, you're going to be a regular here. We're going to go over some interesting games coming up over the weekend, go around the table and see who can kind of get the most picks right. And I think, Mark, let's kick it off with you. What's your game for this week?
Well, I want to keep it kind of local here because this is kind of funny. We're not going to be betting on whether or not they're going to win. We're going to bet on whether Western Michigan can cover the spread against Ohio State.
Right out the gate, a fun one.
Yes. The Buckeyes could not cover the 48.5-point spread against Akron. They beat them 52-6 in their season opener.
Just barely.
Yes, just almost had it. They are, however, a 38.5-point favorite against the Broncos this week, and they are playing at home. So I think the over-under is around 54 points.
Oh, my God.
So that's going to be hilarious. They're going to be kicking it off against Western Michigan, and they're going to be at home. 38.5-point spread. I actually think Western Michigan is going to upset Ohio State
in the spread.
In the spread, not in the win category.
Yeah.
If they do, they're automatically in the title run. That's
Right.
just how it's going to go. I think they're going to cover the spread. I'm taking Ohio State. Sadly, I hate saying that. 48-13.
But you think Western's going to beat the spread?
They are going to beat the spread. Meatball, what do you think about that?
I think Western, too, the way they played against Wisconsin this past weekend was really, really strong.
Solid.
I think they just kind of lost a little bit of gas and a little bit of attention to detail, I think, in the fourth quarter, maybe, which they're going to address. And obviously going into playing the shoe, that's going to be a tough one. I think they beat the spread. I'm with you. I think it's going to be 45-20.
Okay. I like
Ohio
that.
State.
A little bit more points.
Yeah.
What do you think,
board.
Nick?
You're being more generous. I like that because I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm the massage therapist for the football team there at Western Michigan.
Yeah.
So, I can't go against them. I'm going to have to go out on a whim and say they're going to surprise Ohio State.
Just straight up win.
Straight up
just gonna
win.
win.
It's going to be tight.
Man.
It's going to be 21-20. It's going to be exciting. And we're going to have some balls go our way.
Okay. All right.
If they do that, I am going to ride Ohio State's ass for the rest of the year, and I don't even care how U of M does. I'm going to be celebrating.
One more time. What was that score, Nick?
It was 21-20.
All right. All right.
Yep.
Keeping it close.
We're going to have some, balls go our way, some injuries are there to help us out.
All right. Okay.
It'll be good.
All right. So I'm going to go with college ball as well this week. This one's not going to be an over-under or spread or anything. This is just a straight-up win. Tulane knocked off K-State last year early on and kind of wrecked any possibilities of them getting to the playoff at all last year. This year, though, K-State coming in ranked. They're going into the Green Waves house. Tulane ended up being one of the top non-power conference teams last year when they finished out. And they just destroyed Southeast LSU, Louisiana, 52-0 last weekend. So just not even close. K-State bringing in their new 4-star recruits. Avery Johnson is their quarterback. I am picking K-State by a couple touchdowns or so on this one. 35-20 over Tulane at Tulane. What do you think, Mark?
K-State's going to stomp. I think K-State's going to really stomp on this one.
Okay.
I'm taking 42-10 K-State. I think they go
big.
in.
Wow.
Yeah, I say they go in and they put that foot down because, again, they were close last year, and I think this year they're going to make a run for it, man. I think K-State's got some hope in them.
Okay, Nick, what do you think?
I think it's the beginning of the season and nobody knows really what's going to be happening
Yeah.
until they really get out there and go up against each other. So I feel like this one might be kind of tight. I think you might be seeing like a 24-20 type score.
Okay. Are you going K-State or Tulane?
We'll go with Tulane.
Going Tulane on that one. All right, Nick, what's your pick for the week?
My pick for the week, we're going to jump to the NFL.
Yes.
Because we cannot ignore the fact that Matt Stafford is coming back to town.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And going up against the Lions, Sunday Night Football. It's going to be exciting. And this one I had to kind of delve deep and try and figure out, well, who plays better in Ford Field, Matt Stafford or Jared Goff? And it turns out Jared Goff has a better record in Ford Field. Go figure. Who has played there last time? Jared Goff, but he has a better record. So I don't think Matt Stafford's going to come back to town and do well. He just, he's a great football player. I love him forever, but, I'm a homer. I got to go with it. So at home, Sunday Night Football, it's going to be electric. I think it's going to be 35-24. I think we're going to win pretty
Good close game.
well.
Good game. I'm picking the Lions. I think the momentum coming off of last year is just too strong. Rams kind of ended the season a little discombobulated. They were one of the favorite teams going into last season. This year, I think people are a little more skeptical of them, so they do have more to prove. But Matt Stafford's getting up there in age, too.
Yeah.
And like you said, Goff and the Lions have really put together, I think, a championship caliber team this year. I think they're going to win bigger. I think it's going to be 45-20 Lions.
45-20 Lions. I'm actually with you there on the defensive side. I think offense, they'll do a good job. Not necessarily struggling. They'll put up a few field goals. I think they're going to hold Stafford to a couple of touchdowns, maybe a couple of field goals, but I am taking that 28-20 score for the Lions with a clear victory.
All right. And go ahead.
I was going to say, I could see Matt Stafford trying to get risky and try to tie it up late in the game with a late game interception from the Lions, shutting it down.
There you go. All right, finally, the Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness big pick of the week. This is the biggest game, especially for this area. We're going to pick the biggest game of what's going on all weekend. I think this weekend it's going to be number 9 Michigan versus number 4 Texas in the Big House. Texas handling Colorado State 52-0 last weekend. Michigan adjusting to new coaching staff, new locker room with a bowling alley for some reason, and shaking those post-championship jitters, against Fresno State. They only won 30-10 last weekend. I grew up in Big 12 country, so I already hate Texas. Now they're a part of the SEC, so I hate them even more. As much as I want to pick Michigan on this one, I think the Longhorns win a close one. It's in the Big House, so Michigan's going to put up a fight. But I think it literally comes down to the final minutes of the game, maybe even a field goal to win it. I'm saying the Longhorns 38, Wolverines 35.
I'm picking U of M on this one, and I also think it's going to be decided by a field goal. I'm saying the U of M is going to pick up that big victory with a 31-28 big W for week 2.
Close.
So I agree with you, Meatball. All the same reasons that just Michigan is not the same team they were last year. I mean, they were practically gutted. So I think that they are not going to be good this year at all. So I am going to go with Texas on this one, and I think they're actually going to win pretty heavy-handedly, and I think it's going to be like 31-17.
Woohoo, man.
Yeah, U of M did not look good against Fresno State, and it's going to be a tough one.
Again,
but
I think they were thinking about their bowling average, more than they were. It's
quite possible.
Got to get that 170.
Well, hit us up on the 107.7 RKR app. Let us know your picks. And yes, make sure to visit Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness on West Nidge there. Nick, thank you so much for partnering in on this. And we'll see how our picks go this week. And we'll reconvene next Thursday and see how we did and see what games we can pick for that weekend.
Let's go.
Go Broncos! 107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Coming up, we got Greg Lutzka, skateboarding legend. It's going to be on with us later this hour, which is going to be super awesome to talk to him. He's got a documentary coming out about his life that, the dude is, like I said, a legend in skateboarding. So that's going to be a ton of fun to catch up on that. Mark, before we get to that point, I wanted to bring this up to you. We are getting into football season. We just had our pick'ems a little bit ago, thanks to Nick.
Yeah.
Again, for Kalamazoo Athletic Wellness. Did you, you've been to some college games, for sure. Did you ever do any, tailgating? for games?
I haven't gone to many. Like, I'll be honest with you, tailgating is a football thing.
Yeah.
I've gone to very, very few football games in my life.
Okay.
So tailgating's not. I do more tailgating before concerts than sports games.
That's fair.
but-
That's fair. If you lived right next to the football field and your dorm room overlooked the football field, would you do more tailgating?
Oh, hell yeah. That'd be sweet.
Well, that's actually happening. Ferris State University in Big Rapids. They are actually a powerhouse school when it comes to NCAA Division II football. They have won 63 of their past 69 games, won back-to-back national championships in 21 and 22. So they are very, very good. They hold the best overall record of any collegiate program in the state of Michigan and have since 2012. That school is putting up a dormitory at one of their end zones where literally you can watch the game from your dorm room.
That is pretty rad.
Where was this when I was in school?
Yeah, no joke.
I would love to do that, man. Oh, man. There is something to be said about like being down on the field in the stands of people, but like on days where I just didn't wanna, you know, like just sit up there and watch the game from your room. How dope would that be, dude?
Oh, yeah, that'd be rad.
This is part of an initiative of this school to kind of build and upgrade a lot of their new facilities. Obviously, prosperous athletic program is going to bring more money into the school as well. I think they've made some updates to all their fields and whatnot. But like, this looks super cool. The only weird thing is the bottom floor, the main floor of this building is going to be like a commons area for like game day.
Yeah, it might get a little loud, a little bit noisy.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about like when I'm still in my pajamas, you know, Saturday morning going down to get like something out of the vending machine. And like, you know, a few hundred people are just rolling through my rec room. And I'm just like, hey, what's up? You know, just rocking my slippers and my robe and shorts and that's it, you know?
Right.
Because I mean, I had no shame when I was in college, man, walking around the dorms half naked. Like, we didn't care.
If you just keep that college energy, I think you'll be okay.
If I keep that college energy at 39 years old and did this at this, I feel like I might have a bigger problem than I would have if I were in college still. But like, well, I have a college attitude. I still feel like a college kid. Yeah, but you're a 40-year-old man. Cover up, my guy. That's not appropriate. What if I yell "Go Bulldogs" real loud? Well, that's even weirder, dude.
Close your robe, please.
107.7 RKR. It is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball. Mark Frankhouse on the line. One of the legends of skateboarding. He's won the X Games. He won one of the biggest purses and prizes in skateboarding history at over $160,000, winning the Money Cup. He was also in at least one episode of The Price is Right, and you can see him performing skateboarding stunts in the movie Accepted with Lewis Black and Justin Long. Please welcome to the Rocker Morning Show, Greg Lutzko. We're happy to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Well, hey, before we get to the documentary, I wanted to talk, you know, we just had the Olympics. The Paralympics are going on right now. But this is now the second time for the sport to be added, at skateboarding to be added to the Olympics. What does it mean to you as somebody who's been so ingrained in this culture and this sport to see something you love be accepted as a legitimate sport in this massive world stage?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely, you know, it's pretty cool to see. I think skateboarding should have been in the Olympics years ago, but, you know, and I wish it was in the Olympics kind of like in my earlier 20s when I was competing a lot, you know.
Right.
But, you know, it's still really cool to see, and, you know, I followed the whole journey of watching it, and I can't wait for it to be in Los Angeles. I think it's just going to be absolutely amazing. You know, skateboarding has grown so much over the years, and it's a lot more mainstream than it was when I was a kid growing up. You know, I was one of 5 kids in my high school or middle school that actually skateboarded, you know, so I think it's inspiring a lot of younger kids to skate, and it's really cool to see the Olympics bringing skateboarding in.
Now, did you try out for the Olympic team at all?
I didn't, you know, they were only taking, I think, you know, 2 maybe skaters from each country.
Oh, wow.
So it was a pretty tight cut. Yeah, but some of my very close friends, Nyjah Houston and Ryan DeCenzo, Ryan was actually on the Canada team, but Nyjah was on the U.S. team. But yeah, they got in, but it's not an easy event to get into. I know that.
Now let's get into your documentary. It's called One Way Ticket, the story of Greg Lutzko. And this is essentially your life story up to this point, right?
Yeah, it follows my whole career. I mean, from, my whole life, actually, from even as a kid, and then, I just followed my passion for skateboarding. I actually dropped out of high school, moved to Southern California to follow my dream for skateboarding. So that's kind of why it's called One Way Ticket. I didn't have a plan B. It was like I came here to make it happen and not look back. So, and along the way, I got signed with some huge companies, Oakley sunglasses and Rockstar energy drinks and Harley-Davidson motorcycles. And so I started thinking outside the box of just riding for the core brands in skateboarding and really thinking outside of, I could go ride for huge companies that, wanting to get into action sports. And then I took opportunity as it came, and I started, getting in, the Dew Tour and, winning 2 times of X Games and, some of these biggest events in the world. And I even won one of the largest prize purses in skateboarding at $160,000. I mean, I just kind of went after it and just wanted to keep progressing on my board and take opportunity as it came to me. By the way, I don't want to inspire anyone to drop out of high school. What I want to do, because I took a risk, and I don't recommend anyone do the same thing that I did.
Well, the documentary is One Way Ticket, the story of Greg Lutzka, and it is out now on Apple TV. Go watch it, Greg. It's great to have you on the show today. Congrats on the documentary. Thanks for all the entertainment as a kid growing up. Loved watching you skate, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Greg. We got to talk to Greg a little bit about kind of the history of skateboarding, how he thinks it has progressed and grown over the years, and some of his other histories as well within the sport. Full interview up now on the Rocket Morning Show podcast on demand on that 107.7 RK.